The city was a living thing, pulsing with subways and honking cabs. People rushed by, each a story unopened. Maya felt like just another cell in this massive organism, her head down, blending in. Today was her day off from the hospital, but the quiet was loud, echoing with memories of beeping monitors and whispered goodbyes. She was a nurse, a healer, but lately she felt invisible, her own story lost in the noise. In a small park wedged between glass towers, Maya clutched a worn paperback, seeking refuge in fiction. Around her, a businessman argued on his phone. A mother wrangled a toddler. A couple laughed on a blanket. Each a universe she'd never know. The city made her feel lonely in a crowd, just another note in a deafening symphony. On this bench, she tried to reclaim a piece of herself, to just sit, to just breathe, to not be needed for one afternoon. But the city's energy seeped in. A distant siren, hurried footsteps, the ever-present rush. She opened her book but couldn't focus, her mind replaying the week's wounds. At work she was Nurse Maya, a role, a function. But who was Maya really? A daughter, a sister, a woman with dreams on hold. She felt her life was a series of reactions to others' needs, her own self fading. This park bench was her small rebellion, a moment to exist for herself. She was just another anonymous soul, waiting for something, maybe a connection, maybe a sign she was more than a passing shadow. The city's heartbeat thudded on, indifferent, as Maya searched for her own. He was already there when Maya sat down, an older man at the far end of the bench. She barely noticed him at first, just another fixture of the park. His beard was salt and pepper, his clothes worn, his hands trembling slightly. Most people looked away, but Maya noticed the sorrow etched in his eyes. They shared the bench in silence, the city's roar fading to a distant hum. Maya tried to read, but her attention drifted to him, dignified, still simply existing. Her nurse's instinct to help tugged at her, but she resisted. This was her time, yet she couldn't ignore the sense of shared humanity. Then he spoke. That's a good one," he said, nodding at her book. "The ending is sad, but true." Startled, Maya looked up. "You've read it?" she asked. He smiled a little sadly. "A long time ago, in another life." The words hung between them, heavy with meaning. Her curiosity grew. This wasn't just a homeless man. He was a reader, a man with a past. "I'm Maya," she offered, closing her book. He considered her, then replied, "Thomas?" extending a calloused hand. His grip was firm, his eyes clear and intelligent. In that moment, two invisible people began to see each other. The city noise faded. Maya felt truly present for the first time that day. A simple exchange, but it cracked open the door to something more. On that ordinary bench, a connection sparked. Sometimes that's all it takes. Thomas's story emerged in fragments over several afternoons. "I used to be a teacher," he said, watching children play. History. He described lesson plans, debates, the joy of connecting the past to the present. But the turning point was the loss of his wife, Eleanor. His son. Cancer took her quickly, the world went dark. Teaching lost its meaning, the future felt empty. He started drinking to numb the pain, and slowly everything slipped away. Job, savings, even his children's concern. "I let go of the rope," he admitted quietly. One day he walked away from his empty house, becoming a ghost in the city. His story wasn't just about homelessness, it was about a heart broken beyond repair. The city rushed on, indifferent, as Thomas faded into its shadows. But on this bench, his story was finally heard. Sometimes that's the first step back. Maya saw herself in Thomas's story, a slow erosion, not a single tragedy. She was a healer, but healing others had hollowed her out. She confessed her exhaustion, the emotional toll of holding everyone else's pain. "You feel like a container," she whispered, "but the container gets full, and you start to crack." Thomas listened, offering no platitudes, just understanding. Both were haunted her by patience she couldn't save, him by Eleanor's absence. In their silence, they recognized a shared burden. "We all carry scars," Thomas said. "Some on the outside, some on the inside. The inside ones are heavier." Maya felt relief. Someone finally saw her pain. She wasn't just Nurse Maya. She was a person, understood at last. Their stories, shared, made the weight a little lighter. On that bench, healing began for them both. Sometimes being seen is the first cure. Their meetings became a ritual every Tuesday. Maya brought coffee and a sandwich. Thomas waited, smiling, their bench a sanctuary from the city's chaos. They talked about everything and nothing: hospital stories, park squirrels, the changing light. Thomas taught Maya to notice small wonders, to see beyond the hospital walls. Tuesdays became Maya's anchor, a reminder of life outside work. She started reading for joy again, discussing books with Thomas, their own tiny book club. For Thomas, these meetings were a lifeline, proof he wasn't invisible. Maya saw him as more than a homeless man. He was a teacher, a friend. He began to care for himself again, hope pushing through his grief. Their friendship, built on listening, slowly rebuilt them both. In a city of strangers, they found belonging. Sometimes a simple ritual is enough to change a life, and sometimes it's everything. Change came slowly, but it came. Sharing his story with Maya eased Thomas's grief. He began to remember joy, not just loss. One Tuesday, he showed Maya a flyer. The library needed volunteers. Nervous but hopeful, he asked if he should try. Maya smiled. "You'd be perfect." Encouraged, Thomas applied. His first step toward a future, not just survival. He got the position. The library's quiet order, the books, the small tasks, they were therapy. He was Thomas again, not just a shadow in the park. Each interaction stitched his self-worth back together. For the first time in years, he belonged somewhere. It all started with a conversation on a bench. Sometimes one step is all it takes, and sometimes it leads to a whole new chapter. The city's heartbeat continued, but Thomas had found his own rhythm. Hope, once lost, was returning. Maya changed too, in quieter ways. Inspired by Thomas, she saw her patients as people, not just cases. She took time to connect, playing jazz for one, describing flowers to another. Her work became about connection, not just care. Burnout faded, replaced by empathy and purpose. She learned that acknowledging pain was strength, not weakness. Maya dreamed again, this time of joining a medical mission abroad. She researched, applied, and told her supervisor. She was no longer a ghost in her own life. Meanwhile, Thomas's part-time job let him rent a small room. Maya helped him move in. A few clothes, some books, a photo of Eleanor. As he placed the photo on his nightstand, gratitude filled his eyes. He was home, and so was she. While months passed, their friendship deepened. Thomas thrived at the library, becoming the history guru and starting a small club. He was a teacher again, his passion reignited. Maya prepared for her medical mission in Guatemala, nervous but excited. She knew listening would be her greatest tool. On her last Tuesday before leaving, Thomas gave her a leather-bound journal. "For your stories," he said. They hugged, their journey from strangers to friends complete. Their kindness had rippled outward, helping library patrons, future patients, and each other. A single act of empathy had changed 2 lives and many more beyond. The city rushed on, but their story lingered, a testament to the power of connection. Sometimes giving is the greatest gift, and sometimes it comes full circle. Every life is a library, each person a book of untold chapters. We rush past strangers, missing the stories inside. We see only the surface, a homeless man, a nurse, never the masterpiece within. Maya and Thomas's story isn't a fairy tale, but a lesson in listening. To truly listen is to offer sanctuary, to create space for another's truth. Their friendship healed them, helping each see themselves more clearly. They learned that connection is the most powerful medicine. So next time you sit on a bench or ride the subway, look around. See the people, really see them. Every stranger is a library of stories. You don't need to save the world, just listen. Sometimes a single conversation is all it takes, and sometimes that's enough to write a hopeful new ending.